What's up guys, Andrew Luck shocked the world when he retired just weeks before the start of the 2019 season, and a month before his 30th birthday. The guy left tens of millions on the table and was coming off an MVP caliber year after all. Luck joined the likes of Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, and Jim Brown in the club of all-time greats who retired while still in their primes. Like it or not, Luck isn't going to be the last guy who retires with plenty of great years left in him. We thought we'd play the guessing game in regards to which other veteran stars will retire suddenly and unexpectedly. So let's get into it. Make sure to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos all the time. New videos all the time. Number 15, Ndamukong Suh. The five-time Pro Bowler has made a nice case to get inducted into the Hall of Fame someday. But Suh hasn't been an elite talent for a while now. Suh's been on the decline since the Miami Dolphins cut him in 2018. But that doesn't mean he won't be a difference maker anymore. With his commanding size and work ethic, Suh could easily play at a high level for another 5 or so years. But we think the guy has too much pride and will simply look to retire in the next couple of seasons. Bruce Arians brought in Suh to anchor the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Maybe we'll see 1 or 2 good years out of Suh before he decides to hang up the cleats. Number 14, Jason Peters. Many star offensive linemen regress once they're on the wrong side of 30. But Philadelphia Eagles offensive tackle Jason Peters just keeps on sipping from the fountain of youth. Simply remarkable. Peters is a surefire Hall of Famer with 9 Pro Bowl selections plus a pair of first-team All-Pro selections. It's a pretty good resume. Oh, and he helped the Eagles win Super Bowl 52, so that's a sure lock. Peters hasn't slowed down in his late 30s, and he looks capable of playing for another 3 years. He's taking it 1 year at a time now, but it wouldn't surprise us if Peters decided to call it quits while still in his prime. There isn't just a whole lot else to play for after all. Number 13, Devin McCourty. The 2-time Pro Bowl safety has been the backbone of the New England Patriots secondary for a decade. McCourty probably isn't a Hall of Famer, but he's unquestionably one of the greatest and most admired Patriots of all time. His legacy in Foxborough will be remembered fondly. Before the Pats' Super Bowl 53 victory over the Los Angeles Rams, McCourty admitted that he would ponder retirement, but that's if they won. The Patriots did win, of course, but McCourty decided to return for his age 32 season. McCourty hasn't slowed down a bit, and this guy could easily play at a high level well into his mid-30s. But the fact McCourty already contemplated retirement in his prime is a telling sign. Remember when Rob Gronkowski thought about retiring in the 2018 offseason? Yeah, he did the following year. Maybe McCourty will follow Gronk and also retire early, thus leaving a major hole in New England's secondary. Number 12, Richard Sherman. He hasn't been his Pro Bowl self with the San Francisco 49ers, but Richard Sherman is resilient and athletic enough to be the next Terrence Newman, an ageless corner that can still be a regular starter well into his late 30s. The 4-time Pro Bowl corner regressed a good amount in 2018, but he's still a difference maker, both on the field and in the locker room. Still, Sherman doesn't have an injury history and probably prefers not to risk his body much longer. Even if he can play at an above-average level for several more years, Sherman will probably retire within the next 3 seasons. The guy won't want to put himself out there once he starts to get burned in coverage a lot more. Number 11, Leonard Fournette. The Jacksonville Jaguars drafted the LSU running back 4th overall in 2017. Fournette surpassed 1,000 yards in his rookie year and helped Jacksonville reach the AFC Championship. But Fournette was limited to 8 games in his sophomore year as he dealt with a hamstring injury, and he wasn't very productive when on the field, averaging a mere 3.3 yards per carry. It's a giant red flag when a young running back is hit with injuries so early in his career. Don't forget that Fournette had a nagging ankle injury while in college. If he doesn't break out in the next few years, Fournette might just give in and quit on football. Why put up the fight if your body keeps betraying you? Number 10, Eli Manning. Most big-name quarterbacks don't seem to retire until their bodies break down and tell them that it's time. How many quarterbacks truly went out with pride and on their own terms? Not many. But Eli Manning could be an exception. Now, Manning has been on the decline since 2017. It's just that New York Giants ownership, management, and coaches took forever to notice. Eli's streak of 210 consecutive starts ended in 2017, when he was benched in favor of Geno Smith. 2 years later, rookie Daniel Jones took over the starting job for Manning in Week 3. The Giants finally realized that Manning wasn't going to regain his old Pro Bowl form, or his Super Bowl MVP form. Manning handled the entire thing with class, and there's a chance he'll have to finish out his career outside of New York. Seeing how much he's declined, and how much pride he has, it wouldn't surprise us if Manning retired after spending 1 or 2 years with the new team. He's not injury prone, so it's not as though Eli has physically declined. He's just not very good anymore. He's always been inconsistent. Some might think he should keep playing until his body fully gives up. but we think he'll do it much earlier. The Hall awaits the two-time Super Bowl champion. Number 9, Julian Edelman. Most wide receivers decline once they hit their 30s, but Julian Edelman only seems to get better with age. He was named Super Bowl 53 MVP just a year after he tore his ACL and thus had to miss the entire season. Simply amazing. But how much longer does Edelman want to sacrifice his body? He has 3 Super Bowl rings and nothing else to prove. He's had concussions, a broken foot, and that aforementioned ACL tear. Edelman can probably play at a high level for several more years, but it wouldn't surprise us if he pulled a Gronk and retired when there was still plenty of football left. Number 8, Hunter Henry. The hype was high on Henry when the Chargers took him in the second round of the 2016 draft. Unfortunately, injuries have hit Henry hard. He missed all of 2018 after suffering an ACL tear in an offseason practice. In the Chargers' 2019 season opener, Henry suffered a tibia fracture in his left knee and was ruled out for several weeks. This is not the way anybody wanted to see Henry's career begin, but this is where we stand. You already have to wonder how much longer Henry will put his body out there if he can't stay healthy. What if he suffers another serious injury or two? Then it wouldn't shock us if he called it quits. But really, we can only hope that he'll stay healthy and grow into a star we envisioned when the Chargers drafted him. Number 7, AJ Green. It is amazing what Green has done on a dysfunctional Cincinnati Bengals team. He earned 7 straight Pro Bowl selections from 2011 to 2017 and helped the Bengals reach the playoffs in each of the first 5 years. But unfortunately, a toe injury limited Green to 9 games in a disappointing 2018 season for the Bengals. He suffered a serious ankle injury that forced him to miss a large portion of 2019 as well. He's also in his 30s now, a popular time for receivers to slow down. Can Green keep going much longer? If the injuries continue to pile up, Green might just retire rather than try to keep going. The guy has made more than enough money and has done plenty to warrant consideration from the Hall of Fame committee. Number 6, Earl Thomas. Thomas suffered leg fractures that cut his season short in both 2016 and 18. In fact, Thomas contemplated retiring after his gruesome injury in the 2016 season. Of course, the perennial Pro Bowler never did, and he remains one of the game's elite safeties. Thomas inked a 4-year, $55 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens in the 2019 offseason. But how much longer can Thomas go for? The 2 leg injuries are concerning, and they could very well take a toll on him sooner rather than later. Thus, it wouldn't be a huge shock if Thomas hung up his cleats before his 4-year deal ended. The guy won't let himself go there if there's no longer playing at a high level. Plain and simple. Number 5, Antonio Brown. Will Brown be a Hall of Famer? The resume says so, but Canton isn't always friendly to troublemakers. Brown's career has become a roller coaster since he left Pittsburgh. The whole saga in Oakland was embarrassing on his end. Once he joined the Patriots, the lawsuits and sexual assault allegations piled up. Something isn't right with Brown right now. How many other stars demand to be let go by 2 different teams in less than 1 year? Now Brown had to deal with all this off-the-field stuff, and he's lost a handful of sponsorships. Even if he stays in good enough shape to remain elite for several more years, we're not sure if Brown will do it. He could always pull a Josh Gordon and step away from football to focus on his personal life. Of course, Gordon was able to come back and continue playing. Will Brown do the same? We're not sure. Right now, these signs point to him leaving football while he's still in his prime. Number 4, Todd Gurley. Gurley has been the NFL's most dominant running back since his 2015 rookie season. He's a generational workhorse and a league game changer, but unfortunately, we've probably seen the best of Gurley. He's got nowhere to go but down from here. Gurley dealt with a knee injury during the 2018 season and was ineffective in the playoffs. The Rams decided that he won't be a bell cow running back anymore. They're reducing his workload from here on out in hopes of keeping him fresh for the playoffs. While we've seen too many running backs have their careers cut short by knee injuries, Gurley was overworked over his first 4 NFL seasons. He's already looking like a guy who could retire before his 30th birthday. It's just hard to see him ever being that same explosive player he once was not too long ago. Number 3, Cam Newton. A shoulder injury affected Newton in the second half of the 2018 season, and the Carolina Panthers fell apart entirely after a 6-2 start. Newton was shut down for the final 2 games in a lost season, and he underwent shoulder surgery. Newton just hasn't looked like himself in a while now. And don't forget about all the ugly headshots he's taken throughout his career. Newton is still young by quarterback standards, and how much longer can he go out there if his body continues to get pummeled? Injuries quickly caught up to the likes of Michael Vick and Dante Culpepper, 2 other premier dual-threat QBs. So unless Newton's body returns to full strength in the next couple of years, nobody should be surprised if he calls it quits. Number 2, Phillip Rivers. Age hasn't caught up to Phillip Rivers, and as he pushes 40, his LA Chargers have finally morphed back into a Super Bowl contender. But in the 2018 offseason, Rivers told Sports Illustrated that he doesn't want to play in his mid-40s, unlike Drew Brees and Tom Brady. The dude has 9 children after all, and we're sure he's itching to spend more time with his family. Rivers has been remarkably healthy and durable throughout his career, but sometimes guys just lose the desire after playing for so long. Whether or not the Chargers win a Super Bowl by his 40th birthday, you shouldn't be shocked if Rivers decides to call it quits soon. He already knows he doesn't want to play too much longer. Number 1, Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben has hinted at retirement numerous times throughout his career. Following the 2016 season, the two-time Super Bowl champion reportedly thought about hanging up the cleats. But he returned for the 2017 season. And after an embarrassing home loss to Jacksonville, Big Ben suggested that perhaps he didn't have it anymore. Of course, it turned out to be false, as he continued to perform at a high level over the next 2 years. But Ben suffered an elbow injury that ended his 2019 season in Week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. How will a 38-year-old QB perform in 2020, coming off such a serious injury? And don't forget, this guy has dealt with numerous other injuries throughout his career. Ben did lead the NFL in passing yards during the 2018 season, so he's not done yet. But with 2 Super Bowls, a Hall of Fame resume, and a family to care for, does he really want to keep putting his body on the line out there? We can't say we'll be shocked if this guy retired before his 40th birthday, even if he has a ton of football left in him. What other NFL stars do you think will retire suddenly and unexpectedly? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week. No, I don't, but I try. Go subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to TPS because we post videos all the time. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click right down there. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
My knee.